Good morning and welcome to week 7 of child psychology over this wonderful summer. It's been great spending time with you this summer. Really enjoyed this journey we've been on. Enjoyed, well, I don't know that I would say I really get to know you, but I've known more and more about each of you. Reading your discussions and your quizzes and your assignments. You're an excellent class. Just want you to know that everyone is doing very well, pretty well, at least. Um, so we are on this journey this week. Looking back at last week, we were covering the idea of school, finishing up the the weeks on or the discussions on school and how school helps to shape us. Toward that end, I chose some kind of controversial videos for you to view and to think about and to discuss. And this is the thing. I think sometimes in our society we tend to say, well, this is the way it is, so we don't question it. And I don't know if I always agree with the videos that I give you or the questions and the articles that I have you read. It's not about whether I agree or not. What it's about is I believe it is important to kind of step outside of our normal kind of curriculum and look at questions like this. What exactly is going on in school? Is school such a bad thing? We have a very strong movement in our country to step away from schooling, called the unschooling movement. Um, Now, I'm not saying that I'm condoning the unschooling movement or anything like that, but we do have many choices in our country. We have many choices of education. There are many ways that children learn and develop and grow. Um, so I guess what I'm trying to do here is get you to think outside the box. Just because you have children doesn't mean you have to put them on that yellow school bus every day. That there are other choices. No, I'm not. I sound like I'm a proponent of unschooling, but what I'm saying is that it's important to understand what is that school doing. Now, the guy, John Taylor Gatto, who I exposed you to his ideas, um, he's not some wild-haired whatever. He was a public school teacher for many years. He was part of the system that he talks about, and these videos came out of a book that he wrote after he won the National Teacher of the Year. So this guy knows what he's doing, and so and what he says, I believe, carries some weight um, as far as what he sees happening in American education. So I just think y'all did a real good job being presented with this fairly controversial topic, controversial guy talking, and it's kind of eye-opening, I believe, when you realize you're part of the system and you've come through the system. So it's good to think about it. I think most of y'all were very positive. One person said he was full of it, um, and that's okay. You know, especially if we find my education wasn't really like that, and I really feel like I learned something, and it helped me to become the wonderful individual that I am. But too many people find that their schooling, instead of helping them find themselves, their individual qualities, that it tends to kind of do the other thing. It tends to try to conform, cause us to conform. um, Braden, you mentioned conformity a couple of times. Jordan, you said the same sort of thing. The focus there is on learning to obey, and that's really, I think, one thing that I get out of Guido is is the point of education really just to teach you to follow the rules? It's good to follow the rules, isn't it? Or is the purpose of education to teach you to help you to develop curiosity and interest in doing things? So Braden, Jordan, very good points, both of you. Um, Anthony, you pointed out something else that John Taylor Gatto said, and this is that education tends to kind of sort us socially. So if you are the kind of person who you like to work with your hands, then you would be kind of subjected to that kind of curriculum, and your teachers would say, don't do this, and you know you're this part of society is really for you. Where those students who are, maybe our teachers encourage us to go on to college or something like that, and they are always treated that way. It's kind of sorted out. Do schools do that, or do we do that ourselves? Yeah, that's a question. um, Patricia, I think, had an excellent point that this is the American society. This is our American way. And so the school is doing us good things by sorting us out, teaching us to conform, teaching us to obey, because we become a part of this American system. Um, is that the point? Um, I don't know. Are, I think at some point in American history, we weren't. We were those people in the world that were different and changed things and made a difference and all that. Can you change things and make a difference if you are really taught to find your niche and to get in it? I don't know. Good question. This has a lot to do with the psychology of children, because children are subjected to hours and hours each day in these school situations. Um, I think that we might find one day a big difference between those children who have been schooled like this and those children who are not. Maybe our society couldn't handle those or not very much. Anyway, that's some good questions to ask. Anyway, this week we're going to start to look at adolescence and what that means, and that's really, really exciting, I believe, um, to see what is it like to go from childhood basically to adolescence. Everything changes. So it's really, really exciting. Anyway, I hope you enjoy our reading and our work and the quizzes, and I hope you're having a great week and that you take care of yourselves. And I'll see you next week.